Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We want to take a look at the daily chart first and then take a look at Bitcoin dominance as well. So here on the daily time frame, it is possible that we are approaching a key turning point here. After the price topped in the larger third wave, we could be indeed in this fourth wave correction. Key support levels are 69,400 to 82,400. We talked about that in the last few days and actually in the last few weeks again and again. The idea is that after this wave 4, once it's complete, we should see one more high in a wave 5, which could lead to a substantial top, after which a major correction starts to unfold, which could, however, be an opportunity because on the very long-term chart, the Bitcoin price shows a lot of potential. It's just that at the moment, after the rally that started in 2022, the risk is getting high, especially in this price region in which the wave count, the scenario is pretty much complete to the upside before a major correction starts. But here on the daily chart, before the major top forms, we could get one more rally to $130,000, maybe even a little bit higher, but that would need to prove itself. For now, I can tell you that I still see this correction here as a pullback in an overall uptrend, which means we should see another high after this correction is complete. And the main question is, of course, where does this correction complete? And we need to understand that this here in orange is a support area. It is not a target, which means the price doesn't have to get there. Normally in a wave 4, which this one probably is, corrections on the Bitcoin chart are rather shallow. So in one scenario, if I zoom in a little bit, we can say that a third wave formed the top here recently, a few days ago. And we're now moving down and we probably completed wave A, the way it looks. Then we could get a B wave. So I'm looking for a rally that could be a B wave. And then one more low in wave C could happen. And the correction doesn't need to be very deep. What is important is that we get something that looks, proportionate to this wave 2 correction that happened in September, August, September. And after the wave 4 is complete, we can get one more high. Now, what I already told you in previous videos is that it is possible that the third wave finished either here on the 5th of December or maybe even end of November. In this scenario, the correction looks slightly different. So it might be that we already saw our A wave here. This was a high B wave, and now we are moving down in wave C, which would also look absolutely okay. And it's just a different way of interpreting the move to the upside. In this case, we have something like this. So the correction might be already in the very, very late stages. And the rally that we saw into the December high was actually part of the correction. This sometimes can happen. It is an overshooting B wave, a so-called overshooting B wave, and Bitcoin loves to do that. So please be aware of that. That means I'm looking for a rally anyway from here, either in a B wave or in the next move to the upside. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. What does Bitcoin dominance tell us? It tells us how the altcoin sector is performing compared to Bitcoin. And overall, we have a very interesting development in this resistance area located between the 50% and the 88.7 Fibonacci retracement. And from here, it is possible that the altcoin sector, let's say Bitcoin dominance is setting up for a move to the downside. If Bitcoin dominance goes down, that means Bitcoin's market cap is performing worse, for example, than the altcoin market cap, which means more money is flowing into the altcoin sector, which is what many people would call an altcoin season. Maybe the second round, we already had a nice rally here in the period into the early December lows. So that's something to watch. So now let's take a look at the shorter time frame. Here you can see the different potentials on the shorter time frame. I think it is quite simple. at the moment. So we are, if we zoom out, you can see that we are still in this overall sideways range, actually, with a little bit of volatility, obviously. But since the middle of November, it's pretty much just a sideways move with a tendency of breaking out to the upside, but then getting rejected again a few times. Now we're recovering again. And I shared with you in yesterday's video that, we could have started that fourth wave already in November or early in December. And then this correction could be nearly done. I mean, ultimately, there are many ways how this move to the upside from the August low can be counted. There is even a way where I would say, we can say this is a 1-2-1-2 setup, 3, 4, 5, and then this is the 4, 5, and that's it. So, we don't necessarily have to expect the correction to be very deep, right? There's just a lot of flexibility required on the smaller time frame. I shared yesterday with you that many altcoins could have completed their corrections already. We were just looking at possible breakouts to the upside. They happen here and there. Looking at Bitcoin as well, I mean, it's broken above the trend line. So the idea is that there are a couple of ideas I have. So this looks more like a 3-wave move down. After 3 waves down, it can be that the correction is complete. We talked about that in yesterday's update. Typically, a normal correction is a 3-3-5 pattern. Okay, and obviously the first question is, okay, where did the correction start? Did it start here, or did it actually start here, right? So according to the orange count, we can say it started here. It's possible. And then the next question is, do we get 5 waves down? Well, ideally, yes, but as I said in yesterday's video, crypto, sometimes they like to do only 3 waves down, and then it's a slightly different structure. But it could be that this is just complete here, right? And that's exactly why I gave you yesterday the resistance area and the trend line. Now, we haven't broken above resistance yet, but the price is already trying to break above, and it actually looks a little bit like a mini 5-wave move up. So the main question is at the moment, is a local, at least some kind of a low in place? That is, and the rally is not really part anymore of this immediate downtrend. I think it's a bit too early to confirm that, but we already have a break above the trend line, so I think it's going that way. The idea is that in the white count, this here could now be an ABC structure, so I'm watching for a possible pullback to confirm that we're setting up higher. If that holds a higher low, it should set us up for a higher, possibly to attack again like 106,380, 104,668 in a wave C, or if a larger degree low is already in, then we could already break higher. So bear in mind that my idea is still that we go to round about 130k plus. Also, I see the current correction as a pullback in an overall uptrend. I don't see this as a bear market yet. Altcoins are still holding mostly their structures. I mean, there have been some shifts on the micro level, but nothing groundbreaking. So it's still all holding, and Bitcoin is trying to break above resistance. So I will not rule out that wave 4 is already complete, but because it's only been a sideways correction, really, I need to see a little bit more evidence. That's the thing with these sideways corrections, especially wave 4s are extremely tricky because you don't get that clear low to finish off a correction. It's different from a wave 2. Here we just have to, we just have to be a bit flexible. And I think I mentioned in the last video that I see this as an area. I mean, I see these pullbacks as opportunities to place some orders potentially, right? More generalized. I'm not saying this is right for you. I'm not saying everybody needs to do that. I'm saying I see pullbacks as opportunity. So yeah, that's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.